All right, hello everybody. I believe we're live now. Oh, it says we're at 10 seconds. Oh, so sorry about the dead air there at the beginning. My software doesn't always tell me immediately. So anyway, sorry. Hey everybody, how you doing? We're here today talking with Julie and Fen. We are talking about 80 more things, but before we get into talking about that and saying hi to the ladies, we're gonna go ahead and play a little something here that kind of inspired this whole thing to begin with.
Let's keep talking about Avery. Yeah, let's keep talking till he's set free. Oh, you just listen, I think you'll see why it matters. Oh, really matters. Put aside the documentary, the stage version ludicrosy. Oh, all their claims so blatantly get torn to tatters. I think that matters. I bet you heard about Hood Lad sweating, but maybe you ain't heard this yet. 19 more times the DNA that was left anywhere else that day. I think that matters. I really do. I think it matters. An ex-boyfriend with a day planner page, and yet they did not investigate. And who knows why, and who can say why he was signed into the crime scene that day. I think that matters. I really do. I think it matters. About the barrel that once was seized, but then returned to the Averys. The bones were found the next day, but not one photograph exists of where they lay. I think that matters. I really do. I think it matters. I could go on listing things off. 80 more things. I just keep on singing these songs till every freedom rings. I said it matters.
Dashy too.
It really, I know it matters. It could be you, I think it matters. It could be me, I know it matters. Work with Casey, it matters. I said it matters. It really matters.
All right. So, are you guys there?
I'm here.
Okay, I hear Julie. I don't hear Fen
We
checking in
can't
yet.
hear Fen.
Did she unmute?
No, I can see her talking.
Oh, I
but
see
can't
her.
hear
Okay, I see her very well, yes. But nope, her lips
No.
move, but no sound comes through.
No.
And why we're having so much difficulty with her mic over there today.
It was working before.
Yeah, we did have it working before we went live. Oh boy. Let's see. You could try leaving the call again and coming back, or
Yeah, I think that's what she's going to do.
okay.
Sorry, everyone.
We'll get there.
It's all Hangout's fault.
Oh, there she is.
I heard something.
There she is.
There, now we can see me. Hey,
I can
hi,
see
everybody.
you and hear you. There we go. Ideal.
Yay.
Okay, let me put my headphones on so we don't get like echoes and stuff.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody say hello to Julie and Finn. Finn and Julie.
Hello.
So we are here today to talk about Finn's podcast over there, 80 More Things, which obviously was, sprang from the song we were just listening to by Stacy Seabrook. So I was playing that song quite a bit when I was first going live on my channel, and obviously Finn was tuning in a fair amount at the time. And so she ended up listening to that part of the song, and she picked that lyric up and ran with it and started a little Twitter campaign with it and ran for 80 days putting up, a new individual, issue in the case each day. And it was the hashtag 80 More Things countdown for 80 days. It was awesome. So hello, Finn. Hello, Julie, PomPom. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Awesome.
Yay, and I can hear Julie and everything, so we're all
Yeah.
good.
Yay.
Yay. And look, I've got my...
Oh, she's got her admin mug. Oh, moderator. That's right.
Moderator.
Moderator.
Yes.
Sorry. I love it. I still got my big gulp cup because I've just found that of all the cups I've tried so far, the 7-Eleven Big Gulp thermal cup works the best. So maybe I'll have to repaint the outside of it.
Somebody just asked if Stacy's songs are available for purchase, and I'm getting the link right now.
Yes.
Give me a second. My computer's being very slow.
Yeah.
So
On-
give me
on
1 second and I'll
iTunes?
have it for you.
And on what is it? Amazon or what is it? No, there's something. Google
It was
Google
it's-
Music or
It's
something.
not on Google Play anymore,
It's
but
not
yeah,
on Google.
I believe it's still on iTunes.
Okay. So
So that I just posted the link, and then here's a link to the Kose Wrecking Crew store, so you can get the
mug just like
mug that
Finn's.
Ken just showed. A mug just like hers. It won't say moderator.
Don't put Finn moderator on that. That'd
Yeah,
just
no.
be weird.
But the link is there for you to get other Mamathon stuff and Kose Wrecking Crew stuff if you are interested.
yes.
And I will shut up about that.
Actually, I'm more interested in. I wanna try to. What I had the idea of wanting to do was to create a website to do the Justice Mobile magnets, where it's like a website where the images are right there. People just have to take them, copy it, and drop it in the Vistaprint, to where we make it a process where they're not doing a bunch of guesswork, where we have the pictures sized exactly the way that when you drop them in, it works right, and you know what I mean. I was thinking about something like that, where to help people order
Yeah.
Justice Mobile and stuff like that. It's something I've been wanting to work on, so hopefully we'll be able to get there at some point.
I tried to do the Justice Mobile stuff like that, and from what I could find, it just wasn't possible to make it work like that.
I spell it
So-
Mobil by the way now, so just because I noticed that your pronunciation.
No,
So
it's Justice Mobile, like the Batmobile. It's like the Batmobile. That's
no,
why
I
we
get
say
it.
like
That's
that.
why I now spell it Mobil.
It's not a gas station.
Hey. What is a MASH unit? It's mobile, right?
A MASH unit?
A MASH
Yeah,
unit.
but that's not the same.
A mobile
okay,
army
there-
That's a
surgical
Mobile-
different
hospital.
kind of mobile.
Mobile can be pronounced mobile or mobile.
So I
And
think
in
we're
the case
splitting
of
hairs
Justice
here.
Mobile,
So I
it's
think we're
mobile.
splitting hairs.
I'm not
Anyway.
saying anything. I was talking about the Vistaprint thing. I tried to do it, and we couldn't set it up that way from what I could find. So,
Right.
but
That's why
but
I
I
figure
did try.
something out, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's why I figured if we
Mm-hmm.
had, if there was like a page that just had the images and people could just drag and drop or copy and paste and they'll be just already formatted, to fit right into Vistaprint's, little whatever where you paste things or drag and drop things. Because I noticed when I was making business cards back
Well,
for Mamathon, it was a little tricky to get that to happen. Anyways, moving on. So, Anyway, so we're here to talk about 80 more things. I think probably one of the best things to talk about is where we started, is where it came from, and let Fen talk about, the beginnings of it. Her little campaign on Twitter, and things like Denise and the
little campaign.
And I say little in an affectionate way, but
because you weren't scouring the internet for 80 things every day.
Hey,
it was a challenge.
We all
but actually, in the end, it was easy because I did have the support of so many people in the community, and that's really what it was all about, is highlighting interesting things that the community had found, or wonky things that the community had found. So, right. And that's kind of what the podcast is about too, is giving people a voice to come and talk about some of these things that they've found.
Right. And I think it's great. Obviously, it's, for me, it's a matter of wanting to cover every area. And the last time I talked about this, somebody brought up Mind Shock. And we also recently found out about the Wrongful Conviction podcast, where Laura Nyrider and Brendan were. So obviously, there's a few there, but hey, we're adding to that presence, and I kind of would like to just continue to do that on as many platforms as possible. As many YouTubers credibly jumping up and talking about the case as possible. As many people on Reddit, as many people on Facebook, as many people on Twitter that are coming up with credible information. That's what I want to encourage. So obviously your podcast is right up that alley, and it's giving another credible place for people to get information about the case, but now in a podcast. And I personally do listen to podcasts, but not a whole lot. I tend to listen to music more than a podcast, but I do like them. But I do know a lot of people tend to fill in, when they're doing their chores or when they're just whatever around the house, and I know they tend to put a podcast on to be background noise, I guess you might say. And
there's a lot of information out there in this case, and not everybody has time to go and research the documents and read everything, and they still want to keep up with what has been discovered by everybody in the community, but they don't have time to necessarily sit down and read, through CASO and read, everything that's out there.
Right. And
so this is just another place they can go for information.
Exactly. And it's like I said, it's something they can be learning or getting caught up as they are, doing mundane tasks like chores or shopping or whatever, I mean? So it's, for me in life, it's become a lot about getting those hours back, right? Getting those time that time back that you give away, that you really have no choice, like on traveling to and from work, or whatever it might be, time that you wish you could be doing something, or you'd like to be doing something. And now with our smart technology and our phones that we carry everywhere with us, we are actually able to claim back a little bit more of those times, or at least pack in a little bit more effective learning and researching, or just relaxing and looking at things for leisure. But certainly we didn't have that in the past, and that's one thing that podcasts and things like that are filling that gap, that void. So so obviously we were all at Raleigh together. We all ended up there, and we had a really cool house on the lake. But one of the things that I thought was cool at Raleigh was Made for You by Denise Rainey. I'd like you to kind of talk about that.
I wish I had it here. It's actually on the other side of the wall right now.
Oh,
but Denise made, she took the 80 more things and she printed each one of them out, and she what is that called? She put it on a backing. Mounted it, I guess. She mounted each one of them individually.
It looked like little plaques on the background.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
And she
like scrapbooking.
Yeah, and it was almost like a jigsaw puzzle. She put every one. She somehow managed to get them all in there, and they would all fit, because they're not all the same length. So
Right.
she somehow got them all onto this poster board that was in 3 sections with 80 more things at the top of it. It was beautiful and amazing. And I'll post a picture of it on the website, on the 80morethings.com website, so everybody can see it. Because I definitely have a lot of pictures of it. And it got a little mangled at Rally because it rained and people were tripping over it. But but it survived pretty well. But yeah, it was amazing.
When I saw it, I was just like, wow, that is really
it
cool.
was beautiful. Absolutely
so,
beautiful. So I really appreciate that she took all that time to do that. It was, I don't even know how she did it. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Right.
I did the easy part. She did the hard part.
I think she likes doing it, so you might find it wasn't so hard for her to do after.
Maybe not hard, but it definitely was a lot of work.
It does look like a lot of care and thought
absolutely
was put into it. Absolutely. So 80 More Things podcast. You guys are 2 episodes in currently, right? First episode is you and Julie.
Yep.
And you guys are basically just kind of introducing it and talking about some of the things like we were just talking about, Rally and various things, right? Where you're kind of introducing the podcast, right? And then in episode 2, where you guys may have already seen it or not, but that's where I'm on. We're talking about wrongful convictions that actually aired on Wrongful Conviction Day, October 2nd, which was brilliant. And what do you have coming up?
Well, I should say, have a long list of people ready. We just need to schedule them. We have episode 3 is recorded, so I'm editing that. It should be posted within the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try to put one out every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I do have.
I know you've got a lot of work before you edit it, but anyways.
Right. I'll just say there's a lot of havering going on.
Yeah, there you go.
But it does take quite a bit of time to put this together, and it's not a monetized podcast, so I do have to work. I have a job, or jobs, and so it's. I think every 2 weeks is probably about all I can handle as far as the workload goes, because it really does take quite a bit of work.
Sure.
But there is a lot of stuff to talk about, and I think my initial thought was to do 10 episodes for season 1, and I just don't see how I can only do 10. It's just not possible.
Right. You're going to be covering a different aspect in each episode, and you're going to suddenly find yourself at 740 like me. But anyway.
Right. Now, we haven't even gotten to any of the 80 things yet, and we're already on episode 3. So I vow for episode 4, we're actually going to talk about one of the 80 things.
There you go.
But especially with everything that's happening right now, and everything that's going to be coming our way on October 15th.
Right.
With KZ's brief, there's a lot to talk about.
There's going to be a lot of there's certainly a lot to talk about right at just this very moment, but yes. On the 15th, we'll have even more.
Oh, yeah.
It is unbelievable the amount of just stuff that's happening here in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot...
It's like an avalanche all of a sudden.
But I cannot express... I'm super over the moon about the move by Brendan's lawyers on Brendan's behalf and all that stuff. But what's really fascinating me and what's really got me paying the most attention right now is Kratz. And this little mini meltdown that he's having. Because, holy crud, man, this guy. I can't wait. I can't wait. He talks... he's saying that the video that we've all seen of Brendan's interrogation is edited. That it skips. And it's like...
It skips all right, but that doesn't mean it's edited.
That. Yeah. It's always done that, and the fact of the matter is that the video he's pointing to in his video, that video is on the channel that I know happens to belong to somebody that believes they're guilty, and so I don't believe they were going in there and doing any kind of favorable editing on Brendan's behalf.
Certainly not.
If that's what Kratz was suggesting, so I was just like, that's very interesting. So I have an idea of something I'm going to try to see what's going on there, because I think Kratz just happens to have an old copy of it in one of his old laptops that he has laying around from 2008, or 2007, 2008 when they were trying Brendan. That's honestly what I think, because...
Yeah, right. Does he have a bunch of files and stuff on his computer, just sitting on his home computer?
He might have had an old laptop. He might have had the old Avery Dassey laptop. He might have...
He doesn't have. I know he doesn't have.
You know he doesn't have that? Well, I figured he might have had something like that.
Well, they could have given it
trophy.
He said he was trying to get access to it, so I don't think he's got it.
No, I meant his laptop that he used during that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They've got that.
Okay. He doesn't have access to his own laptop. Okay, that's something.
At least according to that letter.
Right. So, well, maybe he had it somewhere else. Maybe he just had it on a storage drive that he found going through some old boxes or something. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe he...
In a desk drawer.
Yeah,
maybe
in a desk drawer.
He just has the connections that he can ask for the clean copy.
Right, maybe.
Trust me, we all didn't want the edited copy. We all have been complaining that was the state handing over a dirty copy to begin with. So this new claim by Kratz makes it all the more interesting.
Because
Sorry,
it wouldn't surprise me since they spliced the flyover video.
Exactly, right.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they're distributing a spliced video of Brendan's interrogation. But I have 5 hours and 9 minutes of interrogation video. And so I think I have all of it, but there are like glitches in where the audio will go away, but you can still see the video. But that happens when you're videotaping stuff. And I've seen a lot of, police interrogations and conversations where that's happened before. So I don't know. I haven't looked at the videos on that person's YouTube channel, so I don't know if they match what I have.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Or not.
I'm pretty sure we're all dealing with the same...
But
Yeah.
And I don't think it was anything nefarious.
I have an extra clip that most don't have. No. I have an extra clip that most don't have that I actually got from Jancy. And that everywhere you look, when you look on YouTube for the videos, it's missing this chunk. And I have it. And I'm going to be working on putting them all together and uploading it so that it's all in one place. The same video on YouTube, all, together.
Yeah.
But
there's
I'm
a
gonna
lot of skips.
Week, but
there's a lot of skips, right? I don't know.
There are a lot of glitches.
It would require a lot of pieces to fill in.
But yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out. I wasn't trying to be a downer or anything. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
It's frustrating for
and
me,
I've watched
the amount of skips in
that
video. Trust me. Oh God, it used to drive me insane.
Oh yeah.
So T1 has said something interesting in chat. He was talking about everywhere he goes, he sees Kratz now. And he's bringing up the fact that Cuss Road was all anybody was talking about. That was like the hot topic before Kratz showed up, and he's wondering if that scared him out of the shadows.
Oh, I see.
All this talk about Cuss Road.
I mean, there's plenty fishy about Cuss Road. Michael Bushman coming out of retirement to be the main guy over there pointing things out. I mean, we're talking about a retired MTSO. MTSO isn't even supposed to be there, and now they're bringing out their retired MTSO who were directly involved with the arrest of Stephen Avery back in 1985. I mean, it's like, yeah. Anyway, so there's that, along with plenty of other things over at Cuss Road that are just a mess. So I can imagine it might be a sensitive spot that makes them, alert. I just find it fascinating that this little meltdown. I hope Kratz keeps talking, personally, because the more he says, I think the more he says, the more he betrays himself and the case, that he believes in supposedly so well. He just keeps saying things. I mean, the contradictory things he's saying about Brendan. It's like, first he thinks Brendan should be out soon, Now he's sitting there going, Governor Evers, you know he did it, right? And it's like, oh, so if we get down to it, Kratz, if we're honest about it, you were really only talking about Brendan should be released because you were hoping it would sell your book to supporters. That's really why, right? You were just hoping to tap into the supporter market with that BS, right? And now that Brendan potentially being pardoned is becoming a reality, you're fit to be tied. You're, kicking and bucking and kicking and, like a bronco, right? I mean, it just shows the two faces of Ken Kratz. And so I loved the name of that video when I did that video the other day. I mean, the two faces of Ken Kratz, he has shown them there,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's obviously you've got one more in the can. So who are you looking at coming up? Who are some of the people that you're looking to talk to? Whichever order they may eventually fall in.
I don't. Let me look at the list. I didn't know you were going to ask me because I don't know if I want to reveal.
I can understand. So
I think we should keep it a secret.
Well, maybe you might want to tease one or two.
It should be a surprise.
Maybe you don't even say the name. Maybe you just give a vague description.
Well, I mean, how vague can you be? The man from Australia.
There's one.
The Haverer from Scotland.
Who could that be?
You already did that one, so.
I already gave that one away.
Such a mystery. Such a mystery.
I do have someone very interesting coming up talking about the Rav. I'm not going to tell you who it is, though.
All right.
But good. I can't wait for that one. That's going to be a good one.
It's a good tease. I like it.
I'm hoping that will be episode 4.
It'll be episode 4?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully. If we can get... It's hard because everybody's all over the world, so it's hard to get everybody on the same... As you know, I'm sure you're aware of how that goes.
I had Mark Hodnott staying up past midnight the other day to do a live with me down there in Down Under. So, yeah, definitely it's hard.
Hopefully he'll do that for me, too.
I was up until 2 a.m. last night going live with Paul in what was morning for him. So, yeah, it gets interesting.
Who's Paul?
Paul, Mr. Capaldi. The Haverer.
Just kidding.
The Mad Scotsman.
It's a joke.
Paul who?
Just joking, Paul.
I just love
Paul.
a chance to go through all of his titles. Anyways. The Mad Scotsman being
just call him Captain.
Captain.
Or Captain.
Just call him Captain. Captain.
The Captain's countryman, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From the Crunchberry Vineyards there in Scotland. So, anyway.
So I think I have 10 episodes worth of guests lined up. No, they're not scheduled yet, but yeah, talked to and ready to go.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
So I think Fenn's going to have some exciting stuff moving forward, folks. So keep your eye on her podcast. Her and Julie, are very up on the case. They know the stuff. They've been doing their research, and like a lot of the Wrecking Crew. So I enjoy listening to them. So anybody that hasn't gone over and checked them out yet, please do. Anything you wanted to add?
I do want to remind everybody to go to bringbrendanhome.org if you haven't already, which I'm sure probably most people have, but go to bringbrendanhome.org and sign that petition. And there are there's also the other petition for the the Brendan Dassey Juvenile Interrogation Protection Law, I think is what it's called, the Juvenile Protection Law. Right. It's on my website on 80morethings.com. If you could also sign that one. But most important and most urgent is to go to bringbrendanhome.org. And there's a link to that on my website, too, if you happen to be there. It's right at the top of the page. But go sign that. We want to get Brendan home. Thank you, Julie.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So go check those out,
I just linked
in
the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and go check those out. I believe the second one you're talking about, I believe, is the one that's been going for a while now. So,
yep.
But if you haven't signed it, go sign it. And then obviously the new one, Bringing Brendan Home, which is sending a message directly to Governor Evers Make sure you say it right, because, man,
Governor Evers.
Holy crud, man, you get some really people out there that get pretty bent out of shape about it. But anyway, Governor Evers, you get to send your message directly to him, essentially. And man, the thing that counter on that thing jumped to like 10,000 signatures in like 48 hours. So that's phenomenal. That really sends a message to the governor's office that there's a lot of people paying attention to this and they mean business. So it's something for him to consider. It's not necessarily something that should make the decision for him, but it's certainly something to consider, that he should consider.
He
At
should
least it
seriously
should tell him
consider.
He should give it his full consideration.
Yes, I agree.
So,
and I hope that he does. I hope that he doesn't just gloss over, looking at the surface, the facts about Brendan's convictions on the surface looks like he wouldn't be eligible. Right. But he needs to look past that and see that there is actual innocence there. I think if he doesn't pay attention, nobody else can. So it's up to him.
I think there's a chance, though. I mean, because Mr. Evers' background is in education and kids. I mean, that's what his life has been about pretty much up to this point. So, I think there's a good chance he will look at Brendan's thing and go, okay, what is going on here? He's gonna see like the petition. He's gonna see, and that thing's probably still going up. That thing's probably around 15,000 now, or I'm sorry, 25,000 now or something like that. But I mean, he's got to look at that. And he's got to see that, and he's got to see all the hubbub that went on with the bank. I mean, he can't be living in a bubble. He's had to have been hearing about Brendan Dassey as he's been running for governor, or when he was a year ago.
Well, we certainly haven't been silent about it all this time, so he has to know. I mean, we're constantly tweeting at him, before this happened.
Yeah, and that whole bank was going down at that time, and so.
What's that, Julie?
There was an article that was published. Let me look at the date on it. I have the link here, and I will put it down there. The date was today. That Governor Evers said that he will consider Brendan's petition.
Okay, well, instead of immediately kicking it out out of fear of political, problems, he's decided to give it, a look. So that's great. That's awesome.
I mean, it's not
necessarily mean
it's going to happen. Yeah. Don't get your hopes.
Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to grant it,
he's
but
at least considering it.
Right. At least it's
he's at least
a foot in the door.
So that's. Yep, that's something, right?
Yes.
And here's the link to the Bring Brendan Home, so you can sign the petition.
Yep, everybody sign that. Go over and sign that. It's we want as much support there for them to see as possible. So, yeah, it's
right. And if you lose the link, just remember it's bringbrendanhome.org. Bringbrendanhome.org.
Yep, there you go. Pretty simple.
It goes to the same place.
Easy to remember.
Right. Especially since Stacy has a new song.
Yeah. Which
is constantly going through my head now.
Yeah, I played it yesterday, I think, before I went live yesterday, I think. So, yeah, I love it. Stacy's
love it too.
Doing good work over there, so
Stacy does do good work.
And I gotta say, I had Brandon Maddox on today, and I tell you what, that guy, man, he's doing some great things too. I really think that guy's gonna make it, because he's just got a phenomenal work ethic, man. I'm really impressed by that guy. He's just works very, very hard. He's a student of the guitar. He's a student of music. He's not just going through the motions. He's not, it's just, you get the whole thing. He's there, and he's not going through the motions, and he's, I think, like I was telling him, I think that's going to be the thing that's going to cause somebody eventually down the line. They're going to want to take a chance on you or backing you in some way, because they know you're not just some, person who's just a flash in the, this is just some whim. They're going to know that he's serious and that they can count on him to stick around, And that's going to be the type of thing that are going to make, I think that's going to make his chances of success, bloom. And not to mention,
is he
I
in
think
Nashville?
the guy's talented. So, sorry?
Is he in Nashville? Is that where he lives,
I
Nashville?
believe he is. I don't know. No, I think he used to be. I think he's now moved and he's a little further away from Nashville, but I think he's still in Tennessee.
Okay.
He was talking about that today. He recently moved. And if I remember correctly, the place he moved from was actually in Nashville. That they had gotten to be closer to Nashville and all that. But anyway, for another reason, they wanted to go ahead and move to where they are now. And so maybe you end up getting him on the podcast, and then you can ask him all about it.
Yeah, maybe I'll be able to ask him myself.
So, let's see if there's anything in the chat here real quick before we go. Let's see here. How's it going, Jerome? Yeah, Joris says Stacy rocks. Yeah, he's pretty good. Sharon
I see
says,
that. Oh, go ahead.
No. Oh, Sharon says.
I was just going to say.
That Kose guy does good work too. Does he? Who's that guy? Anyway.
I see that Jane Sharp said that.
Yeah, he's all right.
That Ken posted a page of his book today. Jane, where is that? And is it a new page or is it one of the old pages? Not that it matters. I'm not going to read it anyway. But
did he
just
put
curious.
it on his YouTube channel?
Right.
And then follow it up with an ad for his book? Just
Probably.
like all his other videos the last couple days?
Oh, Jane said the petition's at 13,700.
Woohoo!
13, there you go. So
That's on Twitter.
and those are coming from all over the world, so it's gonna be something for them to look at and go, yeah, I mean, look, lots of people have been looking into this for a long time. They've got a deep interest in it. And the other thing with Brendan, it doesn't have the Stephen doesn't have this, but there's a lot of people who believe Stephen is guilty, that believe Brendan is 100% innocent. When you have people like that, it also helps, in kind of the whole weight of the argument of Brendan's innocence. When you have so many people that even think that way, they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, Stephen did it, but no, there's no way Brendan did it. Along with the people who believe Brendan's 100% innocent and Stephen is 100% innocent. But it's just funny because you get, instead of having a split there, people stick together on Brendan. Anyway.
I just want to say, if Brendan is innocent, which he is,
of course,
Stephen is innocent too. They're both innocent. There's no way Stephen can be innocent and Brendan
that's
not.
Kind of my way of thinking about it too. And Brendan is just another part of the framing. They were worried about their questionable evidence. They were
and he was Stephen's alibi.
To shore it up, and Brendan.
He was with Stephen, so
exactly.
I mean,
they're like, oh, I know. We get him to say incriminating things, then we can use that, and not only that, we take him away as an alibi witness. Boom, cha-ching, 2 birds in 1 stone. So I'm sure that was probably part of the thinking on it. But yeah, I had somebody I was on Ken's video, the one he just put up yesterday or today, this morning, whatever it was, and I commented on it immediately. Somebody came in saying, "Oh yeah, they coerced him and blah 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 blah." Shut up! Like that was it. That was the comment. Like they came in, basically reiterating what I was saying in my comment, that it was all coercion, and Ken was skipping over the parts where they were coercing him, and Brendan was guessing badly at everything, and Ken was only uploading the segments where they had him trained and groomed, and he was finally able to spit out a line of whatever that they had finally groomed him, and he was able to say without interruption or saying something wrong or whatever, right? So I'm like, you're cherry picking these bits where they've groomed him. I go, but you're not showing the bits where he's making 6 and 7 or 8 wrong guesses because he doesn't know what they want. And he clearly wants to please them, but he doesn't know what it is they want, and he continues to guess wrong. I'm like, so what I was pointing out, and this person was coming in there like, just shut up, and I'm like, I had to respond, and I'm like, you come in here, you have no substance to your argument, and you're telling me to shut up. I'm like, not likely. You're gonna have to come with something a little bit more substantive than that. So, anyways, it amazes me how some people can ignore that with Brendan. Some people still can. It's like some people have blinders on so bad that they have to believe that the state can do no wrong, ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and that's the only way I can explain people that are that like bitter, or you know, like angry, like this person was in their comment that I was talking about. They must have some kind of irrational way of thinking that they just can't see Brendan's situation for what it is, because they can't get around believing the state would do something wrong. You know, it's kind of the way, at least it's my theory, you know, working theory.
I have a question.
Sure.
For Jane. Thank you, Linda. She said, great podcast, Fen and PomPom. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Jane, you said that the petition was up to 13,000, whatever that number was. Where are you seeing that? Because I can't find, like,
the numbers anyway.
In my really quick search, I can't find the actual, like, petition to see where the numbers are for this, for Bring Brendan Home. I can just, like, when I go to it, it takes me to the Wrongful Conviction podcast where you can sign the petition, but I don't see where to find the actual
counter
petition.
Yeah. I saw that Laura Nyrider had tweeted 10,000 when it was 10,000, but she didn't post. Did she put a new tweet up, Jane?
Twitter? Okay, yeah, Linda said, she tweeted it.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I don't think it's a public.
Everybody. Okay, so we can't just go check it. Okay, all right. I just wanted to see if it was, because I wasn't seeing that. I wanted to see it if we could, but if we can't, that's okay too.
She said, yep, today she saw it. All right. So, it's great. 13,000 signatures. I mean, it's only been a couple days. So, I mean, that's a good start. It's an excellent
That's
start.
Fantastic.
So, you know, all right. So, everybody be sure to look out for Fenn's podcast every 2 weeks, right? Is what you're saying? Is what you're looking to do?
Hopefully. That's the plan.
Roughly speaking. All right. So
this is a labor of love, so
yeah,
I'll do the best I can.
Right. And she wants the content to be good, folks, so she may get a little OCD at times. Don't worry. I'll give her a kick in the butt if she, gets a little too out of hand. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
I got Julie to kick me in the butt. So.
Well, whatever then. I'll nudge somebody who will go over and do something about it. So, anyways, so thank you guys for being here. Everybody, make sure you go over and check out the podcast. And you guys want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, everybody. Don't forget to go to bringbrendanhome.org.
Yep. Don't forget to go to bringbrendanhome.org. If you guys haven't already, please hit subscribe. And we'll see you. And make sure you go over and subscribe to their podcast, too.